All right. So now we're back learning GDScript from zero, and this is an open source project by GDQuest.com. We're going to continue where we left off over here with specifying types with type hints. All right. So by default, GDScript is what we call a dynamically typed language. That means that we can just write variables, assign them a value with a number, and assign them another value with a different type. All right. Unlike in some other languages, in GDScript, the following code is valid. I don't know where this would be invalid, but whatever. Maybe in C++. We didn't get too far with that. Let's look at it. So we got this run function, var health equals 100 health, now equals some text in a string. And we are going to print health, and it'll print out some text, no doubt. There it is. All right. So this feature often causes problems down the line. Okay. Let's take one example. Let's see. So cell size, decimal number, or 2D vector. Okay. So games use grids all the time. Okay. Be it for grid-based gameplay or to make algorithms faster. Okay. So when working with grids, we need to convert grid coordinates into positions in the game world all the time. To do so, we're going to give each cell a size in pixels. We'll likely pick one of two types for that, either a float or a vector2, because pixel positions on the screen use vector2 coordinates, okay? So either of those two values would be fine. Cell size 50.0, vector2 50.0, 50.0. Okay. Why would we have floats in the vector though? Anyway, whatever. Let's go. Using a vector2 could simplify some calculations. For example, when converting grid coordinates to game world coordinates, we've got the cell size vector2 50 50, and then we've got this thing that we did before where it's cell times cell size plus cell size divided by 2, right? And that's going to get us the center of the cell. So in this example, pardon me, because both cell and cell size are vector2 values, we can add them. However, if cell size is a float, we will get a type error, right? Okay. So it's a vector2 up here and a float here. So we got cell size equals 50.0. Func, grid to world cell times cell size equals cell size divided by 2. Run grid to world vector 211. Invalid operands for operator. What? What? Anyway, whatever. Worse. What? Anyway, due to dynamic typing, we won't get an error right away. We will only get the error when calling grid to world vector 11, vector 211. Yeah, that sucks, right? Anyway, and that's a big problem. Yeah, it looks like it. Because we're learning, we only have small code examples in this course, but our games code will often get long and split into many files. When coding, we often forget, and that's where I got that often from. In coding, we often forget about the code we wrote several weeks ago, right? And with a lot of code, it could take hours of play before players trigger a type error in our code. Okay. Actually, that makes perfect sense. Anyway, let's keep going. So using type hints, fortunately, I didn't know that was going to be an issue, honestly. But that makes perfect sense that we'll have like functions in there that won't trip until like months down the line, and we'll be like, what's going on? But whatever, we'll have to figure that out. That's why we're making. Well, if we're not getting paid, we might take our time, but still, let's go. Beep 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 beep. But look. If we get an error, like if we get a super bug that we find after we sell 10,000 copies at like $10 each, get $100,000, you better believe I'm going to be going in there and fixing everything. I'm going to say thank you for a year's worth of life, money wise. Let's do it. Anyway. Anyway, whatever. Let's go. Because we're learning using type hints. Fortunately, GDScript has optional type hints. Type hints let the computer know the value type we want for variables and report errors before running the code. Okay. So to specify the type a variable can accept, we can write a colon and a type after the name when defining a new variable. All right. So we got var variable name colon type equals value. All right. We could tell the computer we want cell size only to accept vector2 values like so. So we'll go var cell size colon vector2 equals vector2 blah, blah, blah. So if we try to replace the cell size with a value of another type later, the computer won't let us. So if we say cell size equals 50, we'll say, no. The assigned parser error, the assigned values type, the float, doesn't match the variable's type, vector2. True. Looks pretty useful. So letting the computer figure it out. So GDScript comes with a feature called type inference. In many cases, but not all, the computer can figure out the type of a variable for us. I wonder which ones it can, but whatever. To do so, we write colon equals without the type. The computer will set the type using the value after the equal sign. Okay. So we could make cell size a variable of type vector2 like so. So var cell size colon equals vector2 blah, blah, blah. So this takes very little typing, yet we get the benefits of using type hints, like the computer reporting errors better and faster, all right? Okay, so why bother to add hints? When we give the language hints like that, it will prevent major type errors. True. When we work in Godot, we will see that the computer can report issues as we write the code. It makes the benefit even greater. Okay. So type hints can also improve the readability of our code. It can help to put more information directly in the code. As we saw, types are essential when coding, and when using type hints, the computer will add them to the engine's built-in code documentation system. Okay. So there's an incredible third benefit for us. 3 benefits. Wow. By using type hints, we will learn types much faster. Check it out. It's excellent for learning. All right. In the following practices, we will write the correct type hints to make the code error-free. I think we're going to be using type hints because that seems like free debugging as long as we just have to put an equal sign after. What? Where'd it go? Oh, we just have to put an equal sign after this. What is that thing called? Colon. What is it? It looks like a rabbit, huh? Like a rabbit's teeth. Or maybe a rabbit's ears. Anyway, whatever. A rat's teeth, a rabbit's teeth. Oh, let's say rabbits. Those are better than rats. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Practices. Add the correct type hints to variables. Our variables have the wrong type hints, causing errors. We're going to correct them to make the code run. Let's do it. All right. So our variables get the correct values, but not the right hints. Using our type foo, we're going to add the correct type names in the variable definitions. Okay. We need to write the type name between the colon and the equal sign. Yes, right here. Note that we cannot use type inference in this practice. We're going to need to write the type name in full. All right. So we got a vector2. So let's get this vector2 while we're at it and replace this string. Do we got any more vector2s? No. Let's get this string and replace this int. Let's just type int here. All right. And then let's type float here. Float. All right. Let's run it. There we go. 2, 3, 4. All right. Good. Let's go to the next one. So it is the other way around in this practice. The type hints are fine, but the values are not. Our task is to fix the values after the equal sign so they match the type hint of each variable. Let's do it. So we need an int here. So let's just let's get rid of this string and just say 4, whatever. We got a string. Let's get this one and do something like that. Who cares? Vector2. Let's just grab this vector2. Push a control X and then do a control. Let's do a control V on this one, and then 1.0. No big deal. Let's run it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks good. Out the door. Lesson complete. All right. And that's the end of that. Yet another one down. Congratulations, we completed the Learn GDScript from Learn GDScript from 0. We now have the basics we need to make games with the Godot game engines. I don't believe that's true. We can keep learning with the free series Getting Started with Godot. We shall. This is an open source project like Godot. This app is is free and open source. We can find the app's source code and contribute translations here. No, thank you. Back to where we started. Over here. Back at the introduction. We just finished with Learn to Code with GDScript. We just finished with this one. And now we're on to the next part of our thing. Where's the next page button? Is it not up? Oh, here it is. Overview of Godot's key concepts. And I consider this tutorial heaven because it just never ends. We'll see you next time.